What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Bullish Buzz. Today, yet again, we have another little bit different of a video. I'm not going to be talking about as much psychology stuff today, but last night I was kind of, sitting with myself thinking about kind of where and what direction I'm taking this entire Bullish Buzz brand, as well as myself. And I kind of came to the point of realizing that as much as I'm here to provide information for you guys, at the end of the day, I want to be known more for the person that I am than the alerts that I send out. And I would love for the alerts that I send out just to be a plus. The fact that they are very profitable and the fact that you can make profit off of it and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm gonna start to kind of shift the form and the format that I do these videos into more of a conversation. I think that this will help for a few different reasons. Now, one, when I was learning stocks, nothing was worse than listening to some dude talk about something that you have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. That sucks. You feel completely out of the conversation. You have no clue what's going on. So I want to eliminate that, and I want to really just get down to not the basics of things, but I really want to be more blunt with what I'm talking about. So in today's video, we're gonna kind of test this out. I wanted to make a video talking about the overall stance of the market. I wanted to make a video talking about what happened this morning because it was pretty interesting. And I want to kind of run you guys through exactly what is going on throughout the whole entire brand of the Bullish Buzz. So that is what we're going to do. Now, I'm jumping into it here. And I first want to talk about silver. Now, you guys know silver has been one of the best performing assets this year and in years past since about 2022. Now, we know silver has been absolutely killing it, and silver is looking to do so again. And they dropped 7% this morning. Silver dropped 7% this morning. Definitely was not the best feeling of all time, not the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I do want to talk about it because while we are up 32% on new recent calls that we have gotten, and on the calls that we do have, we are up 347%, sorry, or just about 7 grand. I do want to talk about my portfolio because we did see a pretty interesting swing this morning. So I guess I'm just going to have to keep moving my shit around. But we were back up $500. This morning we were up a little bit over 3 grand at one time. Obviously, it doesn't always update to the full, but let's just say 2,500. We were up $2,500 at market open. And just about an hour later, we were down about $2,500 for about a $5,000 swing from the upside to the downside. And now we have swung another $2,000 back into the green and a little bit over that, actually $3,000 back into the green for the day. So we have seen quite a volatile day. And that is really what I want to talk about because these kind of days are pretty interesting. They're not bad, they're not good, but they are interesting. So I actually need to go send out an alert that our calls have just hit TP2. So you're gonna have to wait here. You're gonna have to wait here. At everyone, silver calls up 38. Fuck. 38% here. I'm cutting my last runner up 25%. All right, boys. So now getting into it and talking about what I actually want to talk about. I want to talk about this because one, I want to talk about just everything. It's just everything. I just want to talk about everything today. Okay. One, BuzzBot has been absolutely killing it. I'm not here to plug the BuzzBot by any means. I'm here to tell you that if you are in premium or you are in the Discord or you aren't in the Discord, we have free alerts that go out every single day with the BuzzBot. And guys, gold, silver, QQQ, and SPY, all three of these, or all four of these, sorry, I can't count, ran over 200%. This is on the 15-minute time frame. I'll switch down to the 5-minute. This silver put ran over 200%. Okay, this gold put ran over 200%. This QQQ put ran over 200%. This SPY put ran over 200%. Why are you not in the Discord? We send these alerts out for free. I'm genuinely not trying to plug, I'm trying to help you out. So if you don't know what you're doing with trading, it doesn't get simpler than that. But when you see a sell off like this, I mean, one, that was insane. That was insane. We did end up catching this over on an eval account right here. We caught, there's going to be a little bit more trades than I should, but we caught this big move right here. We took a small win and a small loss, and then took a big trade right here. We're up $1,500 in this eval, and we did just take our second payout as well for $2,000. So we are officially profitable on futures. We have put in, I believe, around $2,100 paying for a bunch of evals, and then that one funded that we blew and had to buy back for $500. But at the end of the day, we're back in the green. We've taken two payouts and we have another payout on the way. We have taken a payout for 2,100, or sorry, $1,970. We've taken another payout for $920, and we're looking to take another one tomorrow for about $2,000 if we can finish green in one of our accounts. A lot of the reasons to a lot of the reasons for that are silver. Silver has been amazing, right? And we ended up just taking this long off of this fair value gap that was getting retested on the 15-minute time frame. We waited for the close out of this on the 5-minute, and then we ended up taking the trade up here. We were up 40% on our option, and we are up we're up $1,500 on the play that we took. We'd be up well over $2,000, but it was an eval. And at the end of the day, we have been trading just amazingly. I also do want to talk about Meta. Meta is another stock that is doing really well today. Not many stocks that are doing very well today. I'll show you guys. You guys can see my watch list right here. There is a lot more red than there is green. So we are definitely seeing a little bit of a red day here. But Meta reported earnings yesterday, and their earnings were pretty good. And so they are up just under 10% today, 9.67%. La da da. And I am looking for them to continue up to the upside, possibly even seeing all-time highs coming very soon. You guys know this is my largest position in Meta, and I am now back in the green. We actually got a pretty bad average price. This is not my average price. My average price is $6.39. And so we were down a little bit, and then now we're right back up. So at the end of the day, we're doing just fine. I had no stress with Meta, and now that we are in profit, I have zero stress at all. So Meta is still looking great. I'm looking for all-time highs up 27% from our entry. Let me adjust these. That was when I sent out the alert, but I bought my average price up a little bit. So we'll be truthful here and say 24% to the upside, 69% to the upside at $1,100 where my TP2 is at. And then that runner TP is up just under $1,500, up around 119%. I truly do believe that Meta can hit this target by the end of 2027. I believe that this target could be hit by the end of this year. I'm just not going to say that because that is, of course, pretty absurd to see a $1.85 trillion company double. A little bit crazy to say, but I do believe that it is possible at the end of the day. Now, what else do I want to talk about? What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Palantir. Now, Palantir is an interesting one. Now, I know I sent out alerts on Palantir not too long ago talking about how we were seeing some possibilities for puts. Now, I don't know if anybody in the Discord took these puts, but by the way, these puts are up over 250%. Now, I sent this alert out right once we retested this earnings gap right here. We ended up shooting down, and we ended up sending this alert out once we broke through this red line right here. So the alert was sent out right here, and you guys can see quite the reaction right there. Whether you took profits here, whether you took profits anywhere, I mean, you didn't even see a tick of drawdown. You came back to break even once, and that's it. So a very good trade on Palantir here. And I do expect it to move a little bit lower. I do think that this is a point where it will end up bouncing, but inevitably they are down 27% from all-time highs. So pretty interesting drawdown. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But back to silver here. I do want to talk about what we are seeing with silver because we are still in those calls. And you guys know we entered these calls right here on this red line. And our target is really 150. So we are looking amazing. Obviously, I mean, stop loss is well more than break even here, and we are up 350%. This dip was a great dip to see. Hopefully, this can continue to get bought up, and we could possibly even close the day green as we are back down only 1% after being down 7%. So we are seeing a pretty interesting reaction. So I really like the way that silver's looking. It's looking very bullish. Same with gold here. I mean, we did see a large push down, but we are seeing a large buy up. I don't know, getting bought back up, whatever the word is for that. So we are looking pretty good. QQQ is kind of doing the same here. On the 5-minute time frame, we are definitely seeing a little bit of a V-shaped recovery. Now, we do have some macroeconomic data that could be coming out soon. A lot of people are saying that the government's going to shut down. A lot of people are saying that we're going to go to war with Iran. A lot of things could possibly be happening. And I say possibly because none of this is confirmed, but possibly. Because if we are to get all this kind of stuff, it is not going to be great. I mean, the shutdown wouldn't be great. It'd be it'd be much worse than the prior shutdown, in my opinion, because it would be so out of the blue. But with the Iran news, I'm less worried about that because war is bullish at the end of the day. War sparks the economy. War does make spending go round, and that is what really the economy does need right now, as we are seeing a lack of spending, a lack of job openings, a lack of growth besides those main companies. So we're in a really interesting spot with the overall market. I am still leaning bearish for the short term. I think that all of these, I just don't think that the market looks very bullish here. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I don't think it looks very bullish here. I think that the market does look more bearish than it does look bullish. I think that we need a pullback down to our 200 EMA at 581 for QQQ, and for SPY that should be roughly about 650. So 650 for SPY, 581 for QQQ. I expect that to really happen. I'm not going to put a time frame on that, but I do expect that to happen. That is why I'm sitting on so much cash right now. I'm sitting on about $11,000 in cash right now. Not only in this account, but also in our Roth IRA, we're sitting on $3,153. And the Roth IRA, just for a little check-in, is down $485, but we are approaching back up to all-time highs. I do believe that we hit an all-time high in the Roth IRA yesterday, with us being up around 18% year to date already, and still not even taking an option plan there. So very, very happy with the performance for both of our portfolios here. The main portfolio is also up about 13%. Jesus Christ, I'm literally all over the place. 13% on the year for about $11,000 in total gain. And then with the payouts that we've taken, we are up about $20,000 this month already. So I'm feeling very, very good. I'm feeling very good about the year. I'm feeling very good and optimistic about everything within the markets, except for the fact that we could see some downside with SPY and QQQ, which inevitably would draw down a lot of our stocks. But we all know how that works. That's not the worst thing in the world. That is honestly kind of the best thing in the world when you can go ahead and buy your stocks at a discount. So I really do think that I got through everything. We talked a little bit about Meta. We talked a little bit about silver and gold. We talked a little bit about QQQ and SPY. We talked briefly about Palantir. I don't think there's much else I want to hit on. I feel pretty accomplished with this ramble sesh. And I do promise that I'm not going to make all these videos like this. I'm not just going to be rambling, but for sometimes I just want to yap. Sometimes I just want to talk. And sometimes I do just kind of want to run you guys through my process when thinking about this kind of stuff. Because I do have a pretty interesting way of thinking about it, in my opinion. I mean, maybe I'm not, unique or cool or whatever, but I don't give a fuck. So I just want to make sure there's nothing else that I'm forgetting. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I haven't taken a look at Ethereum in forever, man. I don't think crypto looks very good right now. I think Ethereum could easily bounce off at this level right here because it has in the past, but it just doesn't. Crypto doesn't look great. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Bitcoin's now under 85K. I do believe that this is the cycle that we're looking at for Bitcoin. Double top, little cup, double top, little cup. So I do believe that's something that we're going to look for. This is obviously a great point of support. I would love to be buying Bitcoin under 70K. I mean, that'd be amazing. Now, I'm not the hugest, crypto analyst, so I'm not exactly the most inclined on price action here, but in my opinion, this is what we're looking at. In my opinion, this is what's going to happen because we can see pretty clearly that these are two very, very similar plays. You get your little McDonald's signal, then you get your smiley face. You get your little McDonald's signal, then you get your smiley face. So I really like the way that Bitcoin's looking. I like the way that it's looking in a bearish sense because I want to buy more. I don't have enough, so I would love to continue to buy more. But overall, this is the market. This is how things are looking. We've talked about silver, QQQ, SPY, gold, Palantir, Meta, BTC, ETH, pretty much everything. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I feel pretty accomplished with what we got through. I do enjoy and thank you guys for listening to my rant. I hope you guys got anything of value. I hope. If not, I'm sorry for wasting 13 and a half minutes of your life. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here so the pain and suffering will end. Thank you, boys, for tuning in. If you guys did stay until the end, comment poopy down below. POOPY for a little gift. You comment poopy down below, I'll give you a little gift. Later.